Hello and welcome back to the 2018 Memorial Championship. We've got round one back nine coverage from Fountain Hills, Arizona. BigSexy commentary is here with you again, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
Yeah, pretty clean front nine from our feature card here. Only 2 bogeys to speak of, but pretty good scores overall. 5 down for Simon, 4 down for Paul and myself, and 3 under for Austin Turner. Sets up nice for a back nine that really begs to be attacked.
Yeah, the back nine a little bit more scoreable than the front, a lot less water, and no par fours.
Yep, all par threes. So we'll see who can get the most birdies on this back nine here.
Hole 10 is a par 3 at 381 feet, maybe slightly uphill. The problem here is it's just so well guarded by these trees. You just got to find a way to get the hyzer to sneak under a branch.
Yeah, you kind of have to throw it high to get over these initial bushes and trees, and then you have to be low right here and avoid the
either side of that tree, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that was really the ideal looking hyzer there. That would have gotten past that one and probably the next tree, and you would have probably had to come back putt. I really liked his line, so I wanted to try matching that as much as I could.
If you can hit the tree, man, you're really a wizard. Oh, no, couldn't quite do it. You tried to match it, you messed up, and you actually got a better shot.
Well, that tree is directly in the path.
It's better than Simon's, though.
It's better than Simon's, for sure.
Paul looking for something similar. Underneath, skipping to what I'm guessing is a pretty blocked lie.
Yeah.
If my commentary partner's telling the truth.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see the basket from there. In fact, Simon, although he's much shorter, will be able to see metal.
He's not that short. He's at least 6'2".
Okay, I'm sorry.
Austin, not happy with that, I will tell you that much. He tried to go for a turnover, but it flexed out on him, and he's going to have a long putt to try to save.
On a course where being a lefty is an advantage in many ways because you're hyzering away from the water. Ooh, Simon with a nice nose-up bid there. This hole and hole 9 are 2 of the hardest holes you can really play.
Yes, there's one with those new trees. I mean, they're not that new anymore,
right?
That are planted all along the side. Really doesn't give a whole lot of option.
No, it's a really, really tricky hole. You have to have a really nice turnover. And we're just trying to find a hole to go through because it's just very well blocked here.
Wow, great putt.
You can see there for a second, I actually didn't even know if it was in or not.
Yeah, you did a little grind.
Yeah, a little 50-50.
That is cool.
And only 14% of the field birdied this hole. It's a really tricky hole just because of the trees that block it in on the short side and also close to the green. Makes for a lot of really interesting technical putts there.
Yeah. Hole 11, par 3, 390 feet straight away. Basket placed right in between 2 palm trees. So there are a couple putts that you do not like, certain angles on this hole, directly above or directly below on the hill perhaps. But at 390, it's pretty gettable. I think great for a long forehand. I think Austin probably a lover of this hole because you can hang it out there and let that lefty hyzer bring it back. Speaking of bringing it back, you might want to start now.
Yep, and it hyzered enough, but that's going to leave about 45 to 50 feet. Fortunately, I will be looking at the basket, and those 2 palms will not be that much in the way.
This needs to get down quick because it will skip a bit. Oh, man. Stays in bounds just barely.
On a day where the grass was pretty sticky for the most part, Simon got a little bit of slide there, but this shot, you always have to hang it above the hole. And look at that. I mean, just, you never see the disc have that little reaction when it hits the ground.
How's that angle? That might be Palm Tree City right there.
It's going to be tough. But as you called
as
here,
predicted, Austin ace running this thing.
Actually came up quite a bit short. I mean, it looked out of his hand like it was going to be, had plenty of distance.
Yeah,
but
I thought so too.
Left it just right around circle's edge. I don't know if he's inside or outside. I think he's just barely inside the circle.
Simon, good effort.
Never had the height.
No.
Oh yeah, he's inside the circle by a step or so.
Great putt.
Has to straddle there with the tree behind and makes good from 28 feet. And it doesn't look like Paul has the palm in the way too much because he's not straddling out.
Nice putt.
Hits that one dead center. That's a great birdie for a right-hand backhand. It's so tricky to land it on that hillside. Even if you did know that the grass was going to stick like that, you just can't trust that it's going to stop. I mean, with that hillside sloping away.
No, I think you want to hit 30 feet above the pin.
Right.
Hope it comes down just a bit. Hole 12, par 3, 290 feet downhill. This one can be tricky because it has a little bit of a shelf there about 40 feet short of the basket. Then you can see the slope comes down again. Can be, you sometimes see people leave it short of the shelf, and you also see people take really big skips occasionally. So it's really about controlling the speed and the angle.
Yeah, it's always tricky when you can't see the base of the basket. It always plays tricks in your depth perception, so you really have to trust the right disc. But this is the second easiest hole in the course, so this is a hole you really want to pick up when you step up to this.
Yeah. Austin gonna go low.
Going with a hyzer flip putter shot. I believe he's throwing his roach.
Solid.
Jawbreaker roach there to about 28 feet or so. And I'm throwing my Glow Recon mortar. Trusting it to get a little bit of a skip and roll.
Oh, perfect.
It's done so.
Simon also electing to go with the wide route. And he's loving it.
Oh, yeah. We got 4 players here on the green. And Paul just doesn't get it up there. Walking away before he even got to the basket. He knew he left it short.
Nice putt from Austin. Moves to 4 under.
Yeah, a couple good putts just inside the circle back to back for Austin. Starting to heat up a little bit.
Nice birdie.
Yeah, not pleased.
No.
And when 57% of the field is birdieing the hole, you really feel like you're leaving. You're walking away with a bogey feel with a par on this hole.
I will say, if you're a guy who favors sort of a tap out in anger, no better basket than the Mach X, man. Fire away.
Yeah, that's right.
Hole 13, par 3, 255 feet, going slightly uphill to the elevated basket. You're going to see either a very low skipping shot or sort of a little bit higher hyzer, though there is a branch right in between that makes you pick one or the other.
And Austin's going for the very low skippy shot. I don't know, it could just be tricks that... I feel like that branch is even lower than it's ever been in years past.
Yeah.
Austin just absolutely parks it. And it kind of made me change my shot choice and
went with the higher hyzer.
Yeah, and caught some cabbage early. Didn't really commit to the shot at all.
Yeah.
That's a pretty disappointing attempt from me there. This is the third easiest hole in the course, so we just went from the second easiest to the third easiest hole. And this is definitely one you want to step up and at least have a putt at.
Yeah, definitely.
And Simon makes that high hyzer gap look really wide open, even though it's not quite as open as he makes it look.
Take a quick lap around the basket and settle down.
And Paul's going for that same gap there. And he is also not quite committed to his shot. Caught the wrong side of the hillside, and he is going to be 40 feet away from the pin for his birdie.
It's a long way on the elevated pin for sure. Wow, highest putt ever.
Yeah, that's a high layup is what that is.
Okay. Not often you get your putt up out of the frame of the camera for the majority of its flight.
Usually just off to the left side. Well, I played basketball before I played disc golf.
True,
so.
You know a thing about arcing a shot.
Speaking of basketball, Austin dunks on me. Oh, gosh.
Let's get a quick word from Innova, one of our sponsors.
If you don't already know, check out the Innova Factory Store online. It's the place to get factory seconds, some rare discs, and the big one being Tour Series. Support your local pro, your favorite pro, whoever it is.
Words of wisdom.
Wow, and aptly timed with the Sexton Firebird coming out just last night.
There we go.
Hole 14, par 3, 375 feet downhill. OB on the left. Pretty tough green because you got this electric box. You got 4 or 5 tree trunks. There are a few tricky 10-footers on this hole.
Yeah, when the course is as wide open as Fountain Hills is, the real tricky thing to do here is to put the basket as close as you can to obstacles.
This is nice.
And with this right to left crosswind, Austin plays it perfectly. Let's see that again. Plays the hyzer against the wind, so it never really pushes away. And he even gets a nice little counter skip roll, and he's within 8 feet of the pin.
Great shot. Simon making little hyzers into big hyzers. And that is huge.
Catching the tree almost as a backstop there. 2-meter rule is in effect at the Memorial. Not many places you can get caught up in trees, but here's certainly a place. And Simon comes down and he'll have a putt.
Is this a destroyer?
Yeah, I threw a destroyer here, tried to turn it over a little bit, didn't quite trust it. I turned over my drive on 11 a little bit too much, and so I tried to make an adjustment and undercompensated for the amount of turn I needed to put on that one.
Uli wants this to get down.
And he knows that if he's left side of the green, it's going to skip. And that is not circle 2. That's about midway between circle 1 and circle 2.
Yeah.
Not sure what that line is there for.
Oh, man.
And
did it have a chance?
It was right on line.
Wow.
I thought it might go in. But that's the tricky part about these greens here. But
huge putt.
we had a debate about this, whether or not this was going in or not if it didn't hit the tree branch. You be the judge. Either way.
I'm going to vote in his favor. I feel like that was still going to go.
Yeah, in hindsight, looking at it on this reverse angle, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I probably wouldn't have given it to him there, as he's my competitor in the moment. But you know,
yeah, no, I
with a night
didn't.
to sleep on it, let's give him his due. That was in no matter what.
That's fair. And a shout out to Alan Wagner for getting the first ace of the Memorial on hole 14.
Oh, nice. It'd be a fun one to get. Wow, there. See, look at you go, man.
You gotta mix it up sometimes. And I'm looking at it, trying to figure out whether it was gonna go in or not.
Hole 15, par 3, 426 feet. Up here, perched on the hillside between the palm trees, you generally want to play a wide hyzer that skips a bit, but with the rain the previous night, that play is actually in jeopardy because there's a lot of water in the bottom. Austin doesn't have to worry about the water because he's going out wide on the other side of the basket.
And he's come up quite a bit short, which is really surprising. He's got all the power to get there, and then another 80.
Mm-hmm. Look at that big old German mitten.
He did a lot of off-season training this year in Switzerland, and I wonder if that was a part of his routine just to stay warm.
Yeah, sure.
And we saw this roll, and it's hard to tell from that distance if that was a good roll or a bad roll, but looks like he's rolled to a place where he's not going to have those palms in the way.
It was kind of medium roll. I feel like it didn't hurt him too bad. This could be splashing. Yeah. See, that's tough. I had a putt from there, and it's hard because you're like down there in the soup, you know, trying to push off and get a good putt out. It's difficult.
And this was a bit too high and a bit too short.
Yeah, that was a Simon height. To get 426 that high, you gotta have some special power.
Yep. And I left about a circle 2 putt for both Austin and myself here, but there's nothing in the way, so I say let's give it a shot.
I also, in addition to my water putt on this hole, I also had the putt you just had. If that tells you anything about how this hole went for me.
Oh gosh, not good. That needs a sit. And it does.
Oh,
that needs a sit too. Oh, uncharacteristic from Simon there.
How tough is this?
Pretty tough, but
nicely done. Right in between.
Yeah, not too tough for a guy who's 6'6" and can straddle out about 8 feet to the right.
What really is tough for a guy that size? It's check in with the Disc Golf Pro Tour as you tap these out. Hole 16, par 3, 327 with the mandatory. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the easiest hole on the course.
You would be right. Ding, ding, ding. Point for Natron.
Beautiful. It's just a kind of a pretty simple hyzer. It's shorter than in years past. Overstable fairway driver from this group.
Even for the lefties, it's not out of any lefties' forehand range, I feel like, at 327 feet. Maybe if it was 360, it'd be pretty difficult for the lefties, but
yeah.
Surprising to see Austin leave that short. He's got tons of power with the forehand.
Simon getting this up in the air. I think for Simon, probably the challenge here is just not to go long.
Right. How do you throw less than 350 feet when throwing a disc more than a mid-range?
Yeah, and it's hard. It's not really a great mid-range line. You kind of want that little bit of skip.
Yeah, you want that little bit of knife that the driver brings into play at the end of the flight. And Paul with a nice little check up there with an X1, I believe. I'm going with a Star Thunderbird.
Nice. A little bit lower line. Should skip. A little bit of action, but not too bad.
Mm-hmm. And
wow,
really surprised us there. That was not what we're used to seeing from Austin. Usually his miss, if anything, is low.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's 2 in a row.
2 in a row for Simon. That's just having some troubles here on the green. And whoo, that's an X in. That's an X in there of the weak side change.
She gives and she takes.
Yeah, she definitely gave there. Or did she take? Did she take it in? I don't know.
She gave.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's a frustrating miss. Now, otherwise, not too bad putting round. That was pretty egregious.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it even happens to me.
Yeah.
On hole 16, the average 62% of the field birdied, only 3% bogeyed. But yeah, whole average 2.48. And talk about musket birdies. This is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
We only got one from our feature group.
That's crazy.
Yep. And
hole 17, the big downhill bomber, 468 feet, again right next to the palm trees. This one for the right-handed player, you just need to hang it out really wide and hope for a couple skips, get there into the basket, because if you go right at it, you tend to skip 60 feet to the left.
yeah, and it's so strange because that is the play that you're traditionally used to in this hole. You want to get that skip and play for about 30 to 40, 50 feet of skip here. But it just wasn't skipping on this day.
Yeah.
And
That's a decent one, though.
That's a decent one skip, but he's going to be left with probably the hardest putt you can imagine on this hole.
Right behind the trees.
Right behind it, yeah. Austin showing off the hyzer power here, and I'm going to say this is how you do it.
Wow, yeah, that's good.
And even hitting those palms kind of helped because then he doesn't have the palms in the way.
Yeah, he can just set that one in the basket, no problem. Nice little forward roll, and that'll be an easy tap in. Looking for the skip. Gotten pretty good carry.
No
And
skip.
Nothing really
No
happening
skip
there
at
for
all.
you. Maybe if you could have gotten to that dry patch,
Yeah.
but not what we were hoping for.
And just at this point, hoping for
Oh wow.
the tailwind there, just didn't allow it to drop, and that was a source of frustration there.
Oh man. Really? Oh no.
He said he did as much as he possibly could.
Simon hits the putt Let's hear something from our presenting sponsor, Discraft. Birdies for Austin and Simon, fantastically done. And we are here at the 18th, one of the signature holes at Fountain Hills, 400 feet along the water the entire way. OB path high on the right side. It's a great birdie if you can get it.
Now we're playing into a bit of a headwind at this point, and it really makes going for this hole so difficult unless you're a lefty who has 500 feet of power and you can throw hyzers 400 feet with no problem.
Yeah, wow.
In which case, you really like this hole because this is a great time to separate yourself from the field.
Yeah.
And Simon, last year, needed to ace this hole to force a playoff with Paul Macbeth. Almost did so, almost rang the chains. Tries to go for the similar hyzer line, and in that headwind, just really never had a chance. All a team played is that.
Whoa, this is really flipping to the right.
And he has gone OB over the path there. Pretty bad mistake there. Third hardest hole in the course. Average of third a stroke over par. Just trying to keep this one in bounds, just staying over water, just get a good skip. Got a good skip.
No.
I don't know how that happens.
No way.
Sit.
No way. Okay,
sit.
good.
That is not something you typically see. Once it starts rolling towards the OB, it usually goes all the way to it.
Simon.
Traditional Simon fashion goes for everything.
Yeah, a couple putts away late from a very hot round.
Yeah, no kidding. And that was to remain bogey free.
Man.
Not many birdies on the day, but that was the first score in the red numbers. And Paul makes a really nice bogey putt, honestly.
Yeah.
You don't want to get off this hole any worse than a 4 because
No.
it can really wreck your confidence heading into day 2.
And Austin to cap off a very nice round.
And conversely, finishing this hole with a birdie, it's going to leave you in good spirits no matter how your round went.
Bogey for you. Simon makes par.
And Simon with a nice 47, a 9 under. On a day when this course played a lot harder than it normally plays. I mean,
A little bit cold, a little bit windy, I think.
Yeah, a little bit windy. But we see 5 scores at 10 under, which typically is right around 3rd or 4th place.
Mm-hmm.
But on this day, we have a 5-way tie for 1st.
Simon doing a lot of things at an 89% clip, but scrambling at 100. That is really great. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us for round 1 coverage. Tomorrow we are out at Vista del Camino. A couple more long par 4s. Gonna have a lot of guys tied at 10 under. Tune in and see how it goes.